In my last video, I promised a subscriber to do a restoration video on a Deora. I've owned this particular Deora for several years and feel it's time to do a restoration on it. The car is in pretty good shape other than the paint. The windshield's fogged up and scratched, but that's easy to fix. The wheels are in really good shape, and other than the surfboards, everything is here. Let's get started. This is one of the few Redlines that I own that you could actually call an error. Here, the person running the orbital riveter missed the post and instead drove it into the base. It didn't seem to really harm the car at all, so I guess they dropped it into the package and sent it on its way. Like on all the cars, I will start by drilling out the rivet and tapping the post. This is so I can put the car back together after I'm done restoring it. So here's what a 1968 Deora looks like taken apart. The blue glass tells me that it was made in Hong Kong. Of course, it said just as much on the base, but if you find a Redline with blue glass and no other indication on the car, then that car was made in Hong Kong. The blue paint is pretty chipped on this car, but the metal body seems to be in good shape, so I'll remove the paint with paint remover to get a better look. The metal body of this car is in excellent shape. No major discolorations or corrosion. The base is in great shape too, so I feel whoever owned this car must have stored it indoors and away from moisture. I'll go ahead and sand the car down and see if I can remove the light pitting the body does have. With most of the pitting easily removed, I decided to go ahead and go old school and polish the body, instead of going with the metal paint I have in past videos. After polishing the car and the buffing wheel, I'm even more convinced of my decision to go Spectraflame over the polished metal. There are no cracks, gashes, or any other major imperfections that would show through the paint. For the color, I chose rose, mostly because I need practice with this color as it's difficult to get the shade right. If you paint it too thin, it looks pink. If you paint it too thick, it looks red. Getting it just right takes practice and good lighting. I have yet to nail it. If it looks like I'm airbrushing in a box, it's only because I am. This is just a box that I cut one side out of and installed a light into. To the right and out of frame is a large dryer hose that is hooked up to a squirrel cage fan. This setup is powerful enough to remove 100% of the paint fumes, which you'll want to do if you're painting with Spectraflame. So here's the body after the paint is cured. It doesn't look bad, but I would like it to have a little bit more of a gloss look to it. To do this, I'll use my polishing wheel and some polishing compound. This will remove the paint haze and any dust that might have stuck on the surface. It can also get rid of light orange peel, however, Spectraflame doesn't really suffer from this like other paints do. Here's what the car looks like after the paint was polished. Hopefully you can see the difference polishing makes to the final look of the Spectraflame paint. As long as you're using the proper buffing wheels and polishing compound, not rubbing compound, it's almost impossible to polish through the paint. See my video on polishing paint for links to all the tools you'll need if you want to give this a try. You may have noticed that I have disregarded the bed of this vehicle. This is because I'll be painting it with this magic black from the Redline shop. This paint is intended to reproduce the vinyl black look the car originally had new. Here I have used masking tape to mask off all the parts I wish to protect. This magic black is intended to be used on an airbrush and can be applied in one coat. I'm not sure what the paint is made from, but it does give a textured look just like the original paint had. Once it's dried, I can go about the task of removing the masking tape. This masking tape is made by Tamiya and is great for getting perfect lines along with being easy to use. You can pick it up at most hobby shops. While I had the paint in the brush, I went ahead and painted the accents on the base. So at this point everything is ready to go back together. The paint on the bodies had enough time to cure, and the base was cleaned. I left the original wheels on because they look almost new. I just washed them in soapy water along with the interior plastic. The windshield was polished using rubbing compound. See my video on this if you're interested. All I need to do now is screw the car back together. I have to say that this restoration was rather fun. Not that all of them aren't fun, but this one just went together easily and smoothly. No major imperfections in the body made the prep work shorter than what I usually have to spend on a restoration. I don't think I got the rose shade correct. This looks too purple, and rose is closer to red. However, I really like this color, even if it's not what it should be. The surfboards on the back are just modern surfboards. I don't have any extra original surfboards lying around right now. The Deora is a real car, by the way. If you were wondering why Mattel did not bother to put door panel lines on this model, then you should go Google pictures of this car. To say that it would have been an interesting car to get into and out of would be an understatement. Alright, well, I hope you've enjoyed this one. As always, please leave feedback below. You like it, you hate it, let me know. I'll put links in the video for processes that I did not go into detail here. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.